Good evening. This is Norma Cowie here, available for mental mind treatments. I thank you for those that have been in a little early. I tell you, I have spent a day doing bookkeeping, checking over my mistakes when I have been putting, because I just have a small company, so I do my own bookkeeping. Well, I did my bookkeeping for years, actually, most of it anyway. And so it was kind of nice to have a sit down here and have a different framework and to be ready to do your mental mind treatments for you. You know, life is so interesting that how we begin to have things come together. I had been feeling quite tired the last little while, and yesterday I woke up feeling like myself. Now, what's the difference between feeling like yourself when you're tired or like yesterday and even today? I feel like myself again. Like, what happened? I'm not sure. I was trying to figure it out. Oh, we had some, there people talk about the moon phases and other things. And to be very honest, on the whole, those don't affect me too much at all. And energy things sometimes can. So I feel quite delightful, except, of course, half an hour ago, I developed a little cough, probably from the food I had for supper. Anyway, I'm here to help and support you. And I see that already Annie, who checks in every week, it seems, which is great. No dispute there. She wants clarity. Is it new clarity and synchronicity? Or I'm not sure where the new is at the end there. But I just got to write it in my book so that I got it. Synchronicity. Yep. Now. Okay, so get myself in my little mental mind treatment headspace, and where this is for Annie. I know there was one power and one essence that is all things, and I align myself in that moment for the people that are requesting mental mind treatments so that I can align with them, as there is one power, one essence in all things. And because there is one power and one essence, I can speak my word for other people. And right now, I speak my word for Annie. Annie is asking for clarity, is wanting to have clarity. And I know that clarity is there. I feel like I'm brushing away all the fog and allowing myself to just relax and allow the clarifications of things to come through clearly. When I'm in my fog, when I'm in my, it's supposed to be this way or that way that goes on, I just can't see. I can't put two and two pieces together. And what we need here is not only the clarity, but the synchronicity of things. And a lot of synchronicity is awareness. Excuse me, this is my throat getting myself. It's what happens when I first begin channeling. It just, my throat gets all weirded. But anyway, we'll get through it. Excuse me. It won't stop the process because I'm seeing the clarity, and I'm going to have a drink of water. And it's like all the, I'm going to call them string. You've read a lot of things these days about string theory and things like that. It feels like this cloud. Whoops, I'm taking my glasses off. I'm so excited. It's all this cloudiness. And take this ring off because it's moving around. And also not really sure. So it's like trying to make sense in a cloud. So clarity comes when we just sit back and allow ourselves to give us the clarity of the thought patterning, to understand that how all things work. And it's through the becoming aware that the synchronicity will come into play. So I think the first thing is the clarity is correct. Clarity definitely needs to come. And basically the clarity will become when you just let go of the fog or to me, it looks like clouds. So whatever that is, that's blocking. And I think as I look at it, it feels like you're groping for answers, you're wanting to understand. It just says relax, because you've known so much, and you just let it fall into place. And as it falls into place, not only do you have clarity, but the synchronicity is there. You begin to realize how the synchronicities happen. And that's always fun. Synchronicities are fun. How you'll think of something and later in that day it happens. Or all of a sudden, everything is coming from every angle all over. And so, in the element of clarity, in the element of synchronicity, I give thanks for Annie, and I give thanks for all of us who are listening. I give thanks for all of us who need a little bit more clarity and synchronicity, awareness in our lives, so that it occurs easily and in flow and in spirit of being, and brings joy and brings love. So, Annie, thank you for that. That is lovely. Now, I also have one for Kayla, which, because sometimes she has trouble, so she sends them to me before I get on the show, just so everybody says, well, when they're listening, if they don't see Kayla's name or whatever. Kayla wants to have more energy and the enthusiasm to enjoy. And she said something, I just kind of changed it around a little bit, Kayla, because I feel it's when you have the energy, you'll be able to do all those things that you like to do, and you connect with people, and you connect with your hobbies that you do so well. So let us just tune in for Kayla. Now, I know in this one power that exists of all things that Kayla is connected. That Kayla's awareness of who she is and where she is really, really strong. I also know that as she moves forward in direction of where she wants to go and what she wants to create, that there is love and there is light. And it's an allowingness of having the energy. It's allowing that. It's like when we have so much going on, which I know because we've talked through several weeks now, that your headaches, that all these things that happen that have drained you, and you're putting your body back together. It's like I just hear the words in my ear, both ears, patience. Be patient. Do not push. Do not force. Relax. Be calm. Take this time as a regeneration. Think of yourself as regenerating every cell in your body so that the energy within the cells can begin to expand. And as that energy expands, there is an awareness then of the enthusiasm of things to do. So rather than doing something that leaves you even more exhausted, you're feeling a sense of euphoria, actually, because, I'll do this thing and that's it. So instead of doing maybe 3 things, do 1. When you feel ready, I just feel it in my heart that you just need to rest. And allow every cell, so all your knowingness, all your visualization, all that sense of who you are, allow to see the energy coming into every cell. It's not about just the mind or doing, it's about every cell in your body beginning to regenerate. So think of yourself as a cocoon, what is it? I'm just trying to think which who goes into a cocoon and a butterfly, I think it is, goes in, butterfly. I'm seeing the cocoon, I'm thinking, what comes out of the cocoon? A butterfly, Norma, come on. The cocoon, just you're cocooning right now. And the cocooning is important because then you can reemerge like the butterfly. The energy then will be there, the enthusiasm will be there, and the love will be there because that is appropriate timing. So I know in my heart of hearts, I know in the power that is there that this is happening and will be done. I also know and give thanks for this. I say, thank you, that Kayla will be free to expand as she rests and feels good about the resting that she's doing. Okay. Okay. So I know I have another one here with Karen. Evening, Karen. Okay, what have you got for me today? I would like a treatment supporting my eye surgeon for my eye surgery at the end of the month for it to be successful. I just got to write that down. Eye surgery. You want the surgeon to be able to do the surgery well, which means you just want the surgery to come through, but eye surgery. Okay. I know there is one power and one essence in this world, and I know that Karen is connected to that power as I am. And therefore, in that wonderful energy, I speak my word for Karen. In knowing that as I move into the eye surgery, that my surgeon is rested, clear, and does everything incredibly I'm going to say on the money, so that everything moves well within this eye surgery. What I see that this eye surgeon has done this so often. He just goes into eye surgeon state as soon as he walks in the room. He's an eye surgeon. What I see is Karen being nervous and unsure. And so I know that Karen can be in that place of relaxation, excuse me again, awareness of who she is in the almighty power of love. That her love connects with the external love force that is around, moving into her body, into her eyes, so that easily, whatever the surgery is done easily, quickly, and she heals incredibly well. And so there is a joy about receiving the eye surgery from this wonderful surgeon. The joy of knowing that all will be corrected and done and fixed. And it's just like I was going to say a little miracle. And in a sense, every one of those eye surgeries are. And so it's like a sense of freedom. And so I know that by being relaxed, by knowing that you are supported by the love, universal energy in that your surgeon and you will just come together as one and all will be well. I give thanks in knowing that the eye surgeon is absolutely wonderful. I give thanks in knowing that Karen's nervous system is so relaxed that everything just flows beautifully. And at the end of that, everyone is completely happy and at peace with what has happened and what goes on. So I give thanks for this. I give thanks for Karen's eyes. I give thanks for the surgeon who obviously knows how to do it. And I give thanks in all that there is. And I release this thought knowing it is done. It's already done. And now we just have to go through it and complete it. And so I give thanks by this, by saying, thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is. Amen. Okay. It's Downy. Okay, let me just see. I was going to say, I see another one from Annie, but she's got Annie. Maybe it's down there. It's got Annie retracted. Okay, thanks, Donnie. I'm not feeling acknowledged. I want to understand that. Sorry, I'm reading it incorrectly. I want to be understood and being out of defensive. So how do I want to verbalize that a little bit? I got to get a feeling for this. The acknowledgement, I understand that one. But I just want to, as I write it in my book, it'll get clearer. And you want to be understood. Not defensive. Got it. As I take a breath and move myself back into my body of awareness and connecting to this one power that's in all things, I begin to speak my word for Donnie. as I speak my word for Donnie, I let go of the feeling of being, I'm going to use the word misunderstood, because I am accepting inside of myself of being acknowledged and understood. There is this tremendous sense of people not understanding what I'm saying. And I think this comes from when you were very young. I don't know if you had some speech impediment or you just ran your words together and people had difficulty understanding. And you look very little to me, maybe just learning how to talk. And I think this is from what I see here and what I'm being told, this is a very old program of not being understood and therefore not feeling acknowledged. I think the first step in releasing is recognizing that there is no need to explain or to feel less than, and that it's somehow, I don't want to put the blame on other people, but it's like in the beginning, it was just no one, I don't know. It's like no one paid that or took the time, I think is what it is, took the time. So in a way, I've got all this information coming to me and I want to get on with the prayer part, because it explains why you have this question or this need for this treatment. Now, I know that the acceptance of yourself 100% is really important here. And the acceptance of self and the love force that is there that loves you no matter what, everything relaxes. And when everything relaxes, the defensive mechanism disappears. And you begin to recognize that even though you may say things differently or you may put things in a different construct, that doesn't make you wrong. Defensiveness is to protect our vulnerability. When we become defensive, it's because we don't feel secure. We feel vulnerable. We feel misunderstood. And now what is needed here is for you to begin to realize, what is it you're really wanting to say? What is it you're really wanting to express? And maybe just take a look at how that is expressed, how that is put together, because the acknowledgement will come when you acknowledge you. Is one of those little quirks of life that how we feel about ourselves gets represented into the world and fed back to us so that we can perceive it, see it, know it, and understand it. And so I think there is a sense of you being able to feel much better about who you are, so that the outside world can see your beauty, can see the delight, can see the essence of who you are, so that because you acknowledge you, they will end up acknowledging you. Doesn't mean they'll always agree, but it's like when you feel strong about who you are, the outside world responds. I know you have the ability to do this. I know the ability to be able to accept yourself 100%. I know that you can become all that you truly want to be and be acknowledged, because the bottom line is you can acknowledge yourself. And no matter what has happened in your past, no matter who hasn't acknowledged you, listened to you, or maybe, and I feel like people made fun of you for some reason back there, you just let that go. Just let that go, because there is only now. And from this day forth, you can feel good about who you are, what you've accomplished, what you are wanting to accomplish, and you can acknowledge you for your hard work, for your sincerity, and just begin to grow on that. And it's the knowing of this, that it's like planting a little seedling right now. And that seedling is going to grow into a big, beautiful tree. And you're going to stand as strong as that tree. And everyone is going to say, just look at that beautiful tree. I give thanks in being shown this. I give thanks for Donnie for knowing that this is true, that as she moves forward, that all things will be well. And so I say, thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is. Amen. Whew, that was a nice one. Okay, I've just got to read down here a little bit and see where I'm at now. I hope, Donnie, that you get the message within that. Okay, good. Annie's just thanking me. Yeah, oh, I like those. Yeah, Kayla has finally got them here. She says, thank you for affirming the resting and patience of this healing journey. And that's true. It was really interesting. It's always really interesting. You get a question, but then the answers that come through the treatments can be very, very, very different. And we've got room and we've got time for sure for some more. So if you're any of you that are already beginning to go, you can also send me another one. Yeah. And Karen has mentioned she really likes the surgeon. So I think she says, my message is right on, which is, that's nice to know. So is there anybody else? I know there's a couple more people that are on here and that have not maybe put a little request in yet. So what are we finding? One of the things that I often find is that, and I spoke about it last Wednesday in Norma Talks a little bit, about patterns that we have in our lives and how they work and how they keep recreating. One of the ways we can find the patterns is how things begin to happen. And some patterns don't show up immediately. Some patterns show up, years in between. And I was saying during the program last week was that I know when I began to be aware of certain patterns would come up, I'd say, well, how did I handle that last time? And how do I want to handle that now? And so it's really about knowing and understanding yourself as to how we tend to respond. We are not, what's the word I'm looking for? We're not automatons. And so I understand sometimes how people, I'm just reading something here that Donnie had written. So one of the things I found is that we need to become aware. No, and remember, the basics that I teach so often is our thought kind of gives us the framework, how we're thinking and how we're feeling and how we're responding. And then our feelings fill in. And that's how our body talks to us, but it kind of fills in the quantity of the life and how that feels. And to understand that how we respond to things is one of the biggest keys. That's how we keep, this, and I've spoken about this in Wednesday's talk, in Norma's talk, is that they said, I grew up with, when I started studying that, you create your own reality. But they say, what's the word? Like you create your own reality. But when I got looking at it, mostly I created as a reaction to something that was happening. And that's where the treatments helped me when I was working with treatments. When I first started working, understanding how treatments worked, although some people would listen to me and think, what? That's not quite out, but that's why I don't call them spiritual mind treatments. I call them mental mind treatments. But it's like understanding I have actually sat down and said, okay, I want this to happen in my life and created that. But mostly I am reacting to what everyone else is, what's happening. And then we react. And that's where the patterns can be seen. That's where your patterns can become aware. How many times have you gone through this scenario? Different folks in it, but the same scenario. If you don't change how you respond to it, you will have the same thing, and it'll go on and on and on and on for years. And that's part of why we're here and why we're here to understand our patterning, because it all comes from the subconscious. And the subconscious is, what's the word I'm looking for? The subconscious is big. It contains past life materials. Oh, by the way, I'm doing a past life workshop on Saturday. If anybody's interested in coming in to the past life, you get an opportunity to see yourself in a couple of lives, if not 3. But it's when you understand that you are still doing things that you've done in other time and space. When you are here moving in the direction that you want to go to. And often it's just a matter of changing how you think, how you change that mental procession. And I was just telling somebody today something is that I was explaining something that goes on in my life sometimes. And I said, I spend a lot of my life channeling information. I don't think of it. It's just sort of words that I say. I mean, it's not like I think about it and they just come through. So sometimes in regular conversation, I will actually say something. I think I'm known for being blunt and sometimes not very, what's the word? I can step on your toes. Let's put it that way, without meaning to. It just, things come out of my mouth. If it's been on my mind, it'll come out sometimes with my friends. Luckily, my friends understand me, and so I don't create too much hassle with them, which is good. But when people, and I really work to be on my best behavior when I'm meeting new people, because I'm not. I don't work normally when I don't channel, I don't read when in normal life. But at the same point, there are times when my censor button maybe isn't so strong. So one of the things you can look at is what are your patterns and how are they working? And do you need deeper work to clear them? Several people that and bless their hearts, that come on have had transformation work with me. And it makes a huge difference. And it's not like we can just do this bit and that's it. It's like it's ongoing, because as we clear the framework of our thinking and allow new things to come up, sometimes what comes up is great. And then sometimes there's other things that now we have to work on that. And I have some clients that I've been working with for years, but we get deeper and we get more clear, and they longer periods of time when they phone me, but all of a sudden there's something there and they go, oh, I want to take a look at this. So I want to really thank you for coming and offering yourselves to have a mental mind treatment. I want to thank you so much, because it gives me an opportunity to do this kind of work, which I don't really get much of an opportunity to do in my regular day-to-day. And I really love how they work. I really love the results that I see and hear from other people, etc. So I think on that note, we're a little under 30 minutes, but as I said, I'm available for 30 minutes. If there's more people that want more things, then I will keep going. Otherwise, we're going to call it a night tonight. And I trust that you will sleep well, be relaxed. And some of you wanted more energy, some wanted clarity, some wanted to make sure they felt relaxed. And some we do need to be acknowledged. And in a way, you coming on here is your way of acknowledging me. I feel it being acknowledged, and it helps me and inspires me to keep going, to keep on sharing what I know and techniques that I know and all the other things. So as I bid you good night, I want to thank you for being alive, and thank you being on my mental mind treatment show. And I look forward to those that are subscribing to my channel, sharing, liking, leaving comments. I really, really enjoy that. And what else? I don't know. Just have a good week. I'm back on Wednesday morning, and again on Sunday. Blessings to you all. Thanks. Bye now.